this is happening in 2017? 18?
No, by the time it came to fruition, now we're in 1819.
Okay, right. So it would have been Bill Barr, the Republican Attorney General, his second time as Attorney General. He would have been aware of all this, correct?
I'm not sure if Barr was in at the time. We'd have to double check it, but whoever was AG would absolutely have been aware of it. And I think it was Bill Barr, because Bill Barr is the one who said that he watched footage of Epstein committing suicide, and he knows, but we can't watch the footage of Epstein committing suicide. Bill Barr can, but we can't. That's a little sus, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Bill Barr covered up the murder of Epstein.
Well, clearly, right. But I'm just saying, like, what I like to do, which I found helps me be more persuasive, is I will meet you with what you claim, even when I know it's a lie. So I know that Bill Barr is lying, but I would just, for the sake of argument, accept it is true that Bill Barr saw the video of Epstein killing himself. Well, therefore, you would have to explain why you can't release that video or show it to other people. Because if the video exists, the public would clearly have a right to see it.
That's right.
Or designated trusted intermediaries would.
But Attorney General Pam Bondi says there's still more to be uncovered here. In a letter to FBI Director Kash Patel, the AG demanding the release of the Bureau's full and complete Epstein files by 8 a.m. Eastern today, just a few hours from right now. News Nation's Tom Dempsey is in Washington with the very latest this morning. Tom, I understand lawmakers also not happy with just how little the DOJ ended up releasing yesterday.
That's right. Good morning, Marky. Sort of mixed reactions we saw. We definitely saw some support from lawmakers who have been pushing for this information to be released. But then we also saw at least one lawmaker who voiced outrage at the lack of new information from these records about the Jeffrey Epstein case. Epstein, obviously, the convicted sex offender who was charged with trafficking young girls. But Representative Anna Paulina Luna, she's a Republican from Florida. She posted to X, like I said, voicing some outrage with this, saying this is not what we or the American people asked for. Get us the information we asked for instead of leaking old information to the press.
How many Jeffrey Epstein type people are out there?
Well, that's right.
That's the real question.
You mean people who've been killed, or people who are using sex as a blackmail tool?
That.
Yep.
And then who's pulling the strings on that?
Any guesses?
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell has a lot of ties to the Mossad.
Yep.
That would make sense. I mean, Jeffrey didn't seem to get some of the appointments he was given in the prominence based on merit. Somebody was putting him in the right spots. But I don't think he's the only one. I think there's a problem, a weird, bizarre problem, really, that has a weird sex component to it. With some of the elites, and there's a pedophile component to it as well, which is really sick. And there's, some prominent figures, who are in the spotlight as of late. I would like that to be exposed. But Jeffrey Epstein had the goods on everybody. So there were a lot of people that didn't want him to be alive, and then the whole wild story around, multiple people being asleep and, him not being watched at the time is real convenient. And I just don't believe in that many coincidences.
No. He was murdered in federal detention in Manhattan.
More than 300 pages of newly declassified documents contain information like Epstein's contact list, flight logs for his private plane, and a list of victims' names and phone numbers. Also, the Department of Justice says this is the first phase of records, and it largely contains information that had leaked to the press in the past, but that it was never officially released by the Department of Justice. But lots of public curiosity with this Jeffrey Epstein case, Marky.
Yeah, definitely. This has garnered worldwide attention. Tom, thank you so much, live from D.C.
I don't think there's any question about that. And people lied about it, including the then Attorney General of the United States.
I think there's some weird correlations between and anomalies that, the Johnny Depp trial had eyes on it, crazy coverage, and the Ghislaine Maxwell trial had next to no coverage, no TV coverage, no nightly commentary about it, no traffic to nobody. I mean, they literally she is indicted for trafficking kids, and nobody who she was trafficking kids to got indicted.
Or named.
That's Pam Bondi. Details here in a letter to Kash Patel. I'll read to you from it. Dear Director Patel, before you came into office, I requested the full and complete files of Jeffrey Epstein. In response to the request, I received approximately 200 pages of documents, which consisted primarily of flight logs, Epstein's list of contacts, and the victims' names and phone numbers. Now, all of these things we already have, right? I just want to, the flight logs have been available since 2016, right here. This flight logs show Bill Clinton flew on sex offender's jet more than previously known. These are the flight logs that are cited here in this article. You can see the names and the numbers, Bill Clinton. Here, ladies and gentlemen, are the files that were released today. You can see the names, Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton. Here are other times when Bill Clinton was listed right there. And here are other times when Clinton was listed. See, President William J. Clinton right there. Right? You can see where they're flying to. And here's another one. President Bill Clinton. You can see right there. Okay. So we've known about these flights, and we've known about Bill Clinton on the flight list. This was a revelation in 2016 that he flew on the jet 26 different times, but not a revelation today. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why there wasn't any bombshell, new details or evidence out today, but also a reason why you shouldn't give up hope. Okay, so let's begin. I repeatedly questioned as to whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request, was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we've received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source inside the FBI field office in New York they were in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein. Despite my repeated request, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I was to learn of this information. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, I will deliver the full and complete Epstein files. The FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including all records, documents, audio, video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients regardless of how such information was obtained. There will be no withholdings or limitations to my or your access. The Department of Justice will ensure that the public disclosure of these files will be done in a manner to protect the privacy of the victims in accordance with the law. I have done my entire career as a prosecutor. I'm also directing you to conduct an immediate investigation as to why my order to the FBI was not followed. You will deliver me a comprehensive report of your findings proposed in the personnel action within 14 days. I appreciate your immediate attention to this matter. I know that we are both committed to transparency in the American people, and I look forward to continuing to serve our president and our country.
Do you think Reid Hoffman's uncomfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gates.
And Gates.
Yeah.
And I only ask that because you just look at them and you're like, that's a nervous person right there. I don't know. I mean, I assume you know them. Yeah.
Yes. Reid Hoffman was my vice president of business development at PayPal.
Yeah.
24 years ago.
Does he seem nervous to you?
Yeah, I mean, he's terrified of a Trump victory.
Because of the disclosure that would follow?
I think he's certainly ideologically not aligned with Trump anyway, but I think he is concerned about the Epstein situation. Like the DOJ might actually move forward.
In the deaths of actor Gene Hackman and his wife, with investigators now calling those deaths suspicious. You're taking a look at some file video of the couple, and I wanted to share the very latest as Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman was found dead alongside his wife, who was a classical pianist, as well as their dog in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home Wednesday afternoon. Now, detectives believe that the circumstances surrounding the death of Hackman and his wife are suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation. When two Santa Fe County Patrol deputies arrived at the scene, they walked to the front of the residence, and that is when they found the front door slightly open. They did not observe any signs of forced entry into the home. That is according to the warrant. After they entered the residence, they immediately observed a bathroom to the left of the front door. The door of the bathroom was opened, and that is where they discovered the body of Hackman's wife lying on the ground.
It's mind-blowing that they've not tried to prosecute even one, not even the worst offender on the Epstein client list. They've not even tried to prosecute even one. That's insane.
Well, because they have a lot of diabetic grandmothers who were outside the Capitol on January 6th. They're kind of occupied.
Yeah, I mean, they've put like, whatever, 500 or 600 January 6 protesters in prison, and not one person on the Epstein client list.
Will that ever come out, do you think?
You know, I think part of why Kamala is getting so much support is that if Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public.
Yes.
And some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome.
Yeah.